Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now in this video it is going to be a selection of highlight clips from over the past couple of days grinding for my third great one here on Rancho del Arroyo. Now, if you've been following the channel at all, you probably know that I already have two great ones, one from Leighton Lakes and one from Rancho del Arroyo, and I am now looking to complete my Huddle Great Ones mount with that last great one. So that is the aim, is to get a third great one, but of course, with shooting that many whitetail, you're going to get lots of other trophies, and I have so many diamond whitetail already. In total, I have 48, and this is I now have 17 from this third grind alone. It is an awful lot of whitetail that I'm shooting. I'm shooting several hundred per day, and I have shot well into the several thousands now in total. And I am so ready for this Great One grind to be done. I've got so many other things I actually want to go for. But yeah, so at the moment that is the goal. But you see that I took a shot at a smaller buck and an 85 to 100 buck, and the tree hitbox stopped the first shot, but I dropped the 85 to 100, and then I panned across, and another buck, which at the time I just saw it was a decent buck, I wasn't, didn't have enough time to really look at him, ended up being a level 3, and I dropped it on the spot, and it ended up being my third max weight diamond whitetail. So far, I've had one per grind. This is, of course, the third one, and yeah, it's always really cool to get these. It always gives me a little bit more hope because if he'd spawned just a little bit bigger, it would have been a great one. And honestly, I don't know whether I'll get a third great one. I'm gonna try my hardest. I'm well over 1,000 kills now into the third grind, and I'm trying every single day to get one to spawn. That is why there is a lack currently of other sort of trophy hunting content, like on other maps. Of course, as well, there is currently bugs with a lot of the other maps, and it is making most of them pretty unplayable with severe FPS drops and really horrible audio bugs where things don't make sound or they make like echoey sound. It's really weird and not very enjoyable to play. So it kind of works though, as I'm putting all my attention into trying to complete this Great One Huddle mount. And if I manage to do it, and it isn't if, it's never a guarantee. I take it all for don't take any of it for granted. I'm, taking it all and appreciating it every time that something good happens. You can't take it for granted, because if you do, then you're going to think it's going to happen all the time, and it's never a guarantee. So in my eyes, the more bucks I can get down, the better. And like I said, I'm shooting several hundred whitetail per day, in hopes that this third great one will show himself. And I have two of the three racks that I really, really wanted. So it would be cool if that third rack shows up. But if it doesn't, I don't think I'll be going for another one. I've shot so many thousands of whitetail, I'm done. I just want this to be over. I've got plans to make a pretty special video if I do get a third one. I've got so many ideas for what I want to do with that, and I want to make it a longer video than the other two and sort of really highlight everything that I've put into going for these guys. It's been a long amount of work. And it's also the reason why that even though it might be quite heavily whitetail focused content on my channel at the minute, that I think it's a good idea to keep you guys updated so that you guys can see everything that I'm putting into it. So it's not like, oh, I've just suddenly got 3 of them. You guys can see that I've killed many thousands of normal deer to try and get through and actually get another great one, or, finally get the third one. And yeah, I'll be so happy if I manage to complete that huddle. That is the ultimate goal. I never thought that I would end up here. I thought that I would stop after 1, and then I was so sure I was going to stop after 2. But there's something addicting about them. And so many of you guys were like, you should try and get the huddle. And I just couldn't resist. I was like, yeah, you're right. I probably do want to try and get the huddle. If I could get the third rack that I'm looking for as that last one, it would be incredible. However, if I just get any great one at this point, it can be the smallest great one that weighs 101 point something kilos, just the smallest one ever, and I would be so happy. I'm not picky when it comes to the great ones. In my eyes, it's a great one, and you should be thankful that one has appeared, with them being as rare as they are. And that's the thing, is there seems to be a lot of people that think they're a lot easier to get now, but I'm, several hundred kills now into this second grind, well over 1,000 actually, I think, by now. I've been getting through, I bought 800 M1 ammo the other night, and within just over 24 hours I'd gone through it, just from shooting whitetail and nothing else. It was pretty insane. I've been buying several hundred ammo for the M1 at a time, and just watching how fast I go through it is pretty crazy. So yeah, they're not just popping up every few hundred deer. Otherwise, at this point, I would have 2 or 3 off of Rancho. So it does seem that maybe with so many people buying the new map and it being so hyped about the whitetail, and everyone seems to be pretty focused on the great ones at the moment, that there's just so many people going after them that they are getting found more. Basically, the whitetail on Rancho are so much easier to see and to access and to locate, purely because they only have certain lakes that they will drink at. It's not like Layton where they can drink pretty much anywhere on the map. So it's just so much easier to find them in these concentrated areas. And I think all of this combined has made a lot more people actually able to find them. And I kind of enjoy it, seeing everyone get great trophies. I think it's nice to see other people getting good stuff. But yeah, I'm just crossing my fingers that all of this work is going to pay off. And hopefully in the end, if I'm very lucky, I will get the third one. It's going to be a combination of luck and hard work. But yeah, I'm really trying my best. And like I said, I really do apologise for lack of other map content and stuff. I've got other things I want to go and hunt. I want to go for a Diamond Lynx, Diamond Red Fox, all of these things that I've actually never had. I've had most diamonds in the game, but there's a few that have avoided me, and I really want to go for them on this PC account and see if I can tick them off the list. But I can't do that in my eyes until I've done this. That's how I am. I want to focus and get this goal done. And like I said, with the issues that other maps are having, it just makes sense to try and finish this before going for something else. Now, this clip in particular is pretty special. This happened now, I think, yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. Basically, I spotted this level 3 whitetail. He was walking off. I think I spooked him from shooting some deer in a nearby zone. And I spotted him walking off, so I quickly hit record. And this is an area that it then goes out onto a road, which is basically in like a canyon. And I knew that that would be perfect because I can stand just at the entrance and then see for quite a distance. And that's perfect when you have an animal that's fleeing, because they'll flee for a certain distance and then stop and go nervous or go alert. And I thought, oh, perfect, I'll be able to chase them out into there. I'll have a great vision of where they are, and then I can shoot that level 3 and anything else decent that's in that herd. What I didn't expect is what you guys are going to see right now as I actually go out into that canyon. It was crazy. And this is something I've never had happen before with whitetail. I've had 2 diamond animals before in the same herd, but I've never had 2 level 3 whitetail in the same herd. That is what you guys are about to see. So you can see I came over the edge there and I spotted them, and I spotted that level 3, and then I spotted that level 3. And I was like, no way! 2 level 3s in the same herd? And I knew that one of them was going to make diamond. I recognised that rack. I've shot a couple in this video already. It's kind of like, I think of it as the boxy rack, because it's more square looking than the other racks. It's quite angular. And then there was the smaller one, which is actually closer to me now. But on the screen right there, that is 2 level 3 whitetail bucks from the same herd. Now, if this doesn't show you guys how much effort I'm putting into actually grinding these guys, I don't know what else, basically. I've tried so hard, and I was messaging people there saying, no way, I've just found 2 level 3 whitetail together. Sometimes I know, I get 1 whitetail diamond a day. If I get 1 a day, I'm happy. If I get more than 2, I'm very happy. The other day I had 5 diamond whitetail in one day, and those numbers make me really happy. And so to see 2 together, it's just like, oh, I must be doing something right, because if I'm spawning this number of diamonds, then surely I'm doing everything right to spawn a great one. And that has been the truth for both of my previous grinds, and I can only hope that that's going to play out for this third one. It is over a week now since my last great one, And yeah, I've been working on this every single day. Actually, I had one day or 2 days where I had like half days of grinding, but I've never had one day since then that I've not shot a single whitetail. As soon as I got that second one, I wanted to go for a third one. Everyone was saying go for a third one. I was thinking about doing it, and I was just like, okay, let's go full on, go straight back into it. I had all my setups still as they were. I hadn't taken anything down. Yeah, I really, really hope it's going to pay off. I really do. It would be so cool to have a Huddle Great One mount. There's not a lot of people that have those. I've seen maybe one or two, and I would really, really like to have it. I think it would be really cool. And yeah, if you know me, anything in the game that has antlers is automatically my favourite species. So I'm very, 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 very much crossing my fingers that I'll be one of the few people to say I actually have a huddle mount of great ones. And because we have that huddle mount, it kind of just makes sense to go for a third one rather than stop at just two. So I can only hope. But something else that was interesting is you guys may have seen in that last video, I talked about the survey that EW put out recently, and they were talking about the great ones and what we would like to see next. Now, from what I have heard, mule deer and red deer were at the very top of that list. And if I remember correctly, red deer was slightly ahead of mule deer when I heard about it. So I'm really interested. Either of those I would grind so hard for. Any great one, basically, I am gonna grind for. But if it has a big set of antlers, I'm gonna be more inclined to go for it because that is just what I love in the game. Obviously, I like getting trophies of animals that don't have antlers. You know, some of the predators and the bird species. But for me, animals with those crazy looking antlers is where it's at. And yeah, if can you imagine a red deer great one? That thing is going to be like a walking tree. I will want so many of them, and then you guys will be inundated with red deer content. But yeah, I can't imagine what they could do with them. There's so much potential. And yeah, if you guys haven't filled out that survey, I would actually recommend that you do fill out surveys that EW put out because it allows them to know what we as a community feel and think about things. I can link the latest one down. I'll do that in the top pinned comment. I always put a pinned comment, so I'll put that in there if you guys want to go and fill that out and have a look for yourselves. But yeah, definitely recommend doing those surveys that they put out. They're really, really cool. Actually, it's really good to see again. You know, the company actually taking that much interest in the community's thoughts and feelings, and I really appreciate that, and I'm sure you guys do too. So yeah, I'm really excited for all the possibilities that they could have because they don't even need to necessarily make the red deer great one a walking tree if that ends up being the next one. They could make it like a really old, worn down red stag, and I've seen some incredible red stags that are, well, basically, when deer get older, they quite often tend to, it's referred to as going back. So obviously, when they're younger, they tend to get their antlers getting bigger and bigger each year. And then as they start to get older and, you know, things start to go, you know, slightly less good for the deer, their antlers can actually get smaller and smaller again. And I've seen some pretty crazy examples of this where they end up with just weird looking, very thick antlers, and it's really cool. And I would actually really go for that. I think they could do some really cool things with that as well. And of course, they could do some non typical red deer with drop tines and stuff. There's some amazing examples on the internet of red deer from New Zealand. If you haven't looked at New Zealand red deer, go and have a look at them. Obviously, the red deer diamonds we have already are pretty huge, and I'm just very excited to see what they could do with it. Of course, they could also do unique fur types, that would be cool too, but I'm just interested in anything to see, you know, what they could actually do with in terms of design for antlers. So, as you can see, shooting yet more level 3s and just more whitetail in general. I had a deer jump in front of my shot there on that 85 to 100 one, but I managed to absolutely smoke him whilst he was actually trying to get away. But yeah, yet another diamond whitetail. I am almost at the point where I might have to stop taxidermying them because I've just got so many. I have a harvest manager just full of whitetail, and if I do get lucky enough to get a third one, I really want to show you guys in the trophy manager just how many trophy whitetail, both diamonds and rares, I have just in that list so you guys can see. I think that would be pretty interesting. But this level 2 looked pretty big, and I was fairly sure that he was actually going to make Diamond, and he did at 258.40, which for a level 2 is really good. I really find it more encouraging when I see level 2s actually making that size. Now, this next clip is basically just me spotting something that I picked up the track for. I picked up an 85 to 100 track, and I saw that it was an albino, and I decided to chase it out and just see if it was a level 2 or a level 3, if I was going to get lucky enough to finally see one. And I saw this guy running through the desert, and just how beautiful does that look? Seeing that bright white deer just in the middle of the desert, I think it looked gorgeous. And I could have probably taken a shot there somewhere and maybe put a shot into him, but I didn't want to mess it up in case it did make gold. So I actually reset the time, I went and shot a few other deer, came back, and he was in his zone, so I called him out. Now, unfortunately, he did the weird thing where sometimes with the terrain on Rancho del Arroyo, they don't quite interact with it properly, and he kind of started shaking. But the other deer approaching him actually made him go steady. But just look at how gorgeous that is. That beautiful albino, that they have done such a good job on the reskin of the albinos. It is absolutely insane. Went for a heart shot there, completely missed it. Didn't care, knew I'd got lung. But yeah, just look at this model. With the eyes now, those sort of blue eyes, they are just gorgeous. I am so happy with the way that they redid these. They look so much better. Absolutely stunning deer. And he missed out on making gold by just a tiny margin. He was 193.40 when 193.70 is gold. So just a tiny little bit more and he would have been a gold albino. But it is a rare. The fur is what matters most, basically. With the rares at the minute that I'm shooting on Rancho, I'm trying not to get too attached to them because they said when they fix the fur types of the ones that have been bugged in the lodge that anything that's been shot on Rancho might get broken and change. So if you've got an albino, it might become a common and stuff like that when they do the patch. So I'm trying not to get attached to them or put them in any multi-mounts. I'm taxing them, of course, because there is a chance that they won't get broken. It was the words lucky dip was how they used to describe it, of whether they'll change or not. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But just as I was putting this video together, I decided to go and do one more run, and I actually found another albino. And I just love them. I think they look absolutely gorgeous. And something about them on the Mexico map, they just look even better. There's something about, I think it's the bright lighting here on Mexico and the lack of brush and the fact that they do tend to be in the more open areas where there is a lot of light. It just shows off their beauty so much better. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for this video, guys. Again, I am so sorry about the amount of whitetail content. Honestly, I can't wait to move on from it as well, but I've got to stick with this. I'm putting in the hours, I'm going to keep sticking to it until something good happens. So fingers crossed that it happens soon and that we can, go after other things, and maybe eventually that the other maps get sorted and I can go hunt for things on there as well. Thank you guys so much for all your support, and thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you guys again soon.